Did you guys hear the coke allegations on the Kardashians? I mean, that's crazy. Could you imagine if their kids go onto that stash?
Joyce Hayman!
What? Who is Joyce Hayman?
You don't know Joyce Hayman?
No. Is she famous?
Joyce Hayman is famous for her wrongful convictions case.
Yeah, on July 31st, 1996, she had gone out and left her son Randy, who was about 5 at the time, with the babysitter.
Now, Randy had some behavioral problems, so one day Joyce saw this medication called Ritalin on TV. It was supposed to help him. She bought it without a prescription from an acquaintance and had been giving it to him at a high dose.
Back to July 31st, 1996, Randy was rushed to the hospital since the babysitter believed he was having an overdose.
Oh my god, was he okay?
Completely. The doctors agreed that Ritalin was necessary for Randy, but at a lesser dose, so they wrote him a prescription.
Yes, but the hospital also transferred him to the hospital for sick kids, where they did a urine test, and it came back positive for cocaine.
And then Randy was put into foster care by the Children's Aid Society. Joyce could visit him there once a week, then Mother Risk did a hair test on him.
Wait. Mother Risk, the organization that works to protect kids from substance abuse?
Yes, that's the one. One of their most popular tests was their hair test. They take a strand of hair and look on it for drugs. However, the test was extremely unreliable because basic drugs like cocaine show up more on darker hair colors.
Also, factors like hair treatments, products, and damage can alter results.
You know what's so crazy about this to me? Julia Klein, the Mother Risk lab supervisor, said that Randy had digested enough cocaine to kill a child, but he was totally fine.
Yeah, and she also said it was the amount of cocaine you would find in a chronic drug user, which Joyce was.
Shoot.
But she admitted to it. She was very open about her struggles. She was very careful about protecting Randy by always putting a towel under his door and other measures.
Wait, sorry, let me just fix the camera.
Yeah, she had a rough upbringing, but she did her best to protect Randy. I mean, she suffered abuse, poverty, and got addicted to drugs at 15. She grieved the loss of her little brother, who died in a house fire.
In July 1996, Joyce was finally charged. In court,
Wait, hold on, what was she charged with?
Well, she was accused of giving Randy cocaine, but the specific charge was administering a noxious substance, criminal negligence causing bodily harm.
Yes, exactly. And this falls under Section 122 of the Criminal Code, which states that every person who by criminal negligence causes bodily harm to another person is guilty of A, an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term of not more than 10 years, or B, an offense punishable on summary conviction.
Okay, got it. So Joyce then testified that she didn't give Randy cocaine, although she was addicted. She was very careful with it.
Yep, the prosecution's argument was that the amount of cocaine found on Randy's hair could only be due to him consuming a large amount of the drug. Dr. Corin and Julia Klein both testified that the amount found had to be a result of him being fed it multiple times, since it was enough to kill him.
Justice Hamilton, the judge, then convicted Joyce with the intent to harm her son based on Mother Risk's findings.
Originally, Joyce was sentenced on July 22, 1998 to imprisonment for 2 years less a day. During this time, she would have no contact with Randy, who was still in foster care and would eventually be adopted.
That's so sad and completely unfair for both of them.
Yeah, I totally agree. On April 22, 1999, the Ontario Court of Appeal found that she was given an unfair sentence since she tried going to rehab in the past and failed. Because of this, Joyce was given a lesser sentence. It was reduced to 9 months with 3 years probation.
So that's it?
Nope. In 2014, 15 years after her conviction, a separate case with evidence of high levels of cocaine being in a young boy's hair was brought up, challenging the Mother Risk test results. This led to reviewing the eligibility of their drug testing, where it was found that the tests had deficiencies and were not accurate.
The crazy part is, these hair tests had influenced 6 other criminal convictions.
What? Including Hayman's?
Not including Hayman's.
Without Mother Risk's evidence, Joyce wouldn't have been jailed, so the court set aside Hayman's convictions and she was acquitted.
Wow, so this case influenced Mother Risk shutting down.
That's why it's significant.
Also significant as it led to less wrongful drug-related convictions and it served justice to those who were affected by the false results.
You know what this case really reminds me of?
What?
Tamara freaking Broomfield.
Who's that?
Okay, so it was 2005, and Malik Broomfield began to have a seizure. His mother, Tamara, took him to the hospital.
How old was he?
He was 2 at the time.
Oh my gosh, so little.
I know. So then he was transferred to the hospital for sick children, where Mother Risk did the infamous hair test. And of course, the results showed that he had digested large amounts of cocaine.
But he didn't, right? Was he okay?
He didn't consume any cocaine, but this is where things get a bit difficult.
Okay.
So Malik actually suffered permanent brain damage and his ribs and arms were fractured.
From what?
So Tamara Broomfield was convicted with administering a noxious substance and aggravating assault.
What? Oh my god, that's awful.
I know. So she was sentenced to 7 years for administering a noxious substance and 2 years for assault.
Wait. She was sentenced longer for the cocaine, something she didn't even do, than abusing her 2-year-old son.
Crazy, right? I mean, they were sure that she really did give Malik cocaine, even though she denied it. Dr. Corin, the head of Mother Risk Testing Lab, testified that the hair testing method was reliable and widely accepted.
What a lie.
And the trial judge noted Broomfield's behavior and how she seemed unaffected by her son's state. Therefore, she must be guilty and intentionally feeding her son cocaine.
So she really wasn't helping her case on top of other charges.
Yeah, exactly. So in 2014, she wanted to appeal her cocaine-related charges. Dr. Chatterton, a professional toxicologist, made it his business to investigate Mother Risk. And of course, he found that Mother Risk's hair testing method was extremely unreliable and that their documentation process was faulty. Malik's hair had also not been washed prior to the test. Mother Risk's methods were just questionable.
Wow.
The Court of Appeal dismissed the cocaine-related charges and ordered a new trial. But then they realized that she'd already served 4 years, double the amount which she was supposed to serve for the assault charges, so they entered a stay of proceedings.
Holy crap, this is intense.
But here is the icing on the cake. After reviewing Mother Risk, they found that Dr. Corin didn't even have any experience in forensic toxicology.
Holy Christmas nuts! This is why they shut down in 2019.
Yup.
Wait, this is too much for the viewers. Can we get a recap?
Now, this is a story all about how Joyce Hayman's life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there, and I'll tell you how doctors found coke in young Randy's hair. His status is a result of how he was raised in foster care is where he spent most of his days, lashing out, crashing, acting a fool, mama snorting cocaine while he was at school, when Corin and Klein were up to no good, started questioning Randy's childhood. Too big a dose and the sitter got scared, said your son's got cocaine laced in his hair.
Now that's a perfect way to end this.